Okay, so I am at my friend Josh's house. What exactly are we doing today, Josh?
Well, what we are going to do is take this 3D printed sword of blizzard. We're going to take this, we're going to turn this plastic into metal. What we're going to do, we're going to press it into some sand. We're going to pluck it out. We're going to close the box, pour the metal, it'll flow, and it'll cast this whole sword out into metal. That's what we're going to try to do.
About how long did it took you to to 3D print this sword?
Oh, on my printer, it took well over 2 days because my printer is just slow. It's good, but slow. First generation, so you'll get what you need, just not very fast.
And that sheath, it's also 3D printed, right?
Yes, sir. All plastic right here.
All right. I'm just like, I'm a considerably almost 6 foot tall guy. So let's just see how tall that is. And Josh is considerably 5'8", 5'7", and so, that is a good size sheath and sword. All right.
1-to-1 scale.
There you go. 1-to-1 scale. That's okay. Let's roll. Let's start with whatever else we gotta go do. What is the first step in this process?
Well, normally the first step would be to have this sword straight cut down in half so you have 2 even halves to pack the mold. But what we're gonna do with my technique, we're gonna fill this whole portion up right in here with sand, pack it, put these backings back on. We're gonna flip the box. Then we're going to take the other backings off, so we'll have a nice, good, smooth, flat canvas of sand. We'll lay the sword on top. We're going to trace around it in the sand. We'll dig out that sand just by maybe an inch, not very much. And then we're going to sift it through the sifter so the sand is very soft in the hole. We'll cover this up with some good old baby powder. The powder allows the object to mold around the sand and not stick to it. So once we get that pressed in, we'll cover the other half with the baby powder, sift more sand on top of this. We'll put the other half of the box on top. We'll start filling it all up with some more sand, pack it all in. Once the box is completely packed, we're gonna gently stand up the box on its side. Open it up. We're going to gently pluck out the original. We'll dig our channels here, 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 and here. So we're going to pour the metal here. It's going to flow. It'll exit out the handles, continue on the blade, and exit out the tip. You want it to be a hair drier than beach sand. The way that casting sand works, you should be able to take a clump of it, squeeze it. You should be able to break this clump in nice 2 even pieces.
Cool.
There's 2 different types of sand. There's bento and there's this. Bento is practically the same thing except it's bonded through oil. This is bonded through water. Kind of thought water would be a little bit more of an easier one to learn with, understand. It's all really done by feel. I don't really have to measure out oil or consistency or anything like that. Sand.
Did you mix this or did you bought it mixed?
I bought this mix. You can make your own. I was making my own for a while, and then I wanted to go with the good stuff, but I didn't want to go too good in case I wasn't ready for it. But I've just stuck with this one since pretty much more or less at the beginning. Every bit of this is all reusable.
All right, so now we turned it over, and now comes the molding it.
The first half of the mold, you're making two halves. This here is the first half. Place your object where you want it. Ideally, you want it a little bit more, but we're working with what we got.
You want more space in the sides and at the at the tips.
Yep. So like how you got much space here. That's
Yeah.
normally how you would like it here. So we're being risky, dangerous here, but
Oh yeah.
fortune favors the bold. Very, very rarely do I ever have a burp out when these things happen. So
A what?
a burp out. That's where you see where that burn scorch is.
Yeah.
That means that when we packed the other half, tipped it up, pulled it out, too much fell out. So it gave the metal its own channel to burp out.
We're gonna have to turn it over.
We have to stand it up. Yep. So we stand up this way, and then we open it, pull this out, dig the channels, close it back up, and lay it down. You'll see.
Yeah.
And voila.
All right. So we have the basic shape of the sword.
Yep. Now we comes to dig. We will use.
Oh yeah, I can see how it could be a problem if you don't have
This,
enough space and it digs itself out.
and what we're doing right now is the longer way of doing it, because normally you have two even halves of the mold. So you would just lay the first half of that sword down, cover it with the dirt, like we did, flip it over. We'd hot glue the other half of the sword to it, and then start packing it. That way is the original, actual way of sand molding, but in my way, you're still sand molding. You're just molding it just in a different pattern.
Okay, so you're digging halfway down. You're gonna take the dirt that you dug out to pack the whole shape of the sword as tightly as possible, so it only melts the sword. That's what it's gonna do, right? Melt the sword.
No. We're taking it's
You're
like
gonna
thrusting
take
your
the
hand into the sand, taking it out, and pouring the metal.
Oh. Thought the metal went in there and like melted whatever the cast was.
That's lost foam casting. That's when you leave a styrofoam object in the sand for the metal to burn out. This here is making an imprint, so you don't have to waste your styrofoam. You don't have to waste your mold. This process, what we're doing, is actually how most car engine parts are made. Motor mounts, engine heads, block heads.
Oh,
A lot of it is all done this way, all sanded.
really? I really didn't know that. To being as big as engine head as I am, I didn't know that certain parts were casted and shit like this. I thought for sure they would grab small, in certain parts they would grab small like sheets of metal and then just through them and whatever.
Nope. course, modernly nowadays, a lot of the specific car parts too, they're 3D printed, and then they're
machined.
Well, no, they're machined, but they're 3D printed, and then they're burned out in an electric oven, leaving a hollow cavity of the engine part to then fill with metal.
Ah, okay. At this moment, I wanted to thank Josh for letting me into his home and allowing me to see how he spends his free time mastering his craft. I allow you guys to join me in the YouTube as I do things like him, perform and master my craft. We do it for fun, we do it as a hobby, we do it because we love to. And here, I love showcasing what my friend can do. So we finished the mold. Now comes the metal. Talk about the metal we're going to be casting with and the items, and take it.
So the metal we got here is aluminum. Aluminum comes from all kinds of materials, whether it be soda cans, car parts, regular stuff that's in the house, anything. Aluminum here melts at about 800 to 900 degrees.
Where'd you source your aluminum from? Where do you get those big old blocks from? You just like get people to give you cans?
That's
should I like acid bleach my cans and give them to you instead?
No, I used to take soda cans, beer cans, and all that. That's a good, very, very good beginner's way of doing it. But when you realize how much, if you're trying to make $1, do you want to collect the pennies or do you want to collect quarters, kind of thing? So I switched from soda cans to car parts, mainly the car wheels. You can slice up a car wheel with a hacksaw,
blowtorch, whatever.
Anything.
Right.
Cut it down to good pieces. As long as you can get those pieces to fit inside your cup. Got a couple of other, got an Aquaman buckle that Jason Momoa blew me off at his meeting, so we're gonna melt him down a little bit.
You want to throw that sucker in?
Your cup. These cups are made of graphite. Come in all shapes and sizes. These babies take well up to 2,000 degrees temperature. Inside here, you got your steel bucket. This white insulation stuff here is called kale wool. This stuff here is very, very heat resistant. You can put this blowtorch here. A little demonstration here. I'll put my bare hand right behind it.
Try this at home.
Don't try this at home, kids.
You don't know what this is. And again, what is that?
This here is called kale wool.
Kale wool. That's cool. See, I am learning something new every day. Alrighty.
And then
this is like a crucible, right?
Yep.
Right.
And what we got here from King of the Hill, some good old propane and propane accessories. Got 2 hoses that lead up to our burners with a simple turn valve, but we're gonna need both of them to get this fire going. Just a little bit of a turn it up, get your clicker going. Go get a overhead view. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa. That was cool. Oh man, I should have done that in slow-mo.
Turn this up to make it roar like a dragon.
Oh no, I can still make it slow-mo.
2.
So now we are going to grab this other sand that we got right here.
Same sand, stick a good hand
while our metal cooks. And we're going to sift it through this sifter.
So everything we scooped out, we're putting it back in to be nice and soft and smooth. So that way it'll make a nice, real clean imprint.
All right, now you're pressing it into the soft sand.
Press it good and hard and deep. Make it flow properly to water. And now, what we want to do is tighten in everything around the edge. You want to pack it and make it all nice, smooth, and flat.
Flat. Like that?
Yep. We want to try to pack it as best as we can, because the scary portion of this is not pouring the metal.
It's turning it.
Nope, it's plucking this out. Because all the sand that we're trying to press in, this here is what can be pulled out and make edges that take more cleanup when it's in metal. This portion right here is not needed when you do a traditional sand packing where you have the 2 even halves already.
What, the packing it back in?
Yeah, instead of doing this, we would just be hot gluing the other half of this right now.
Okay, double check my packing over here. You're the one that's done this. We just want to make sure you do it right. I want to have some hand on it since this is mine.
Absolutely.
You know, I want to say I touched the dirt that made it. You know, I don't think people appreciate the amount of time and effort that goes into stuff like this, and they just think, you know, oh, Josh, this and that, but we're going to show them today.
Yes, sir. Keep on going.
Wait, so now we got to dig.
Nope. We're done digging. We're done digging now.
Okay, we're just going to
Because you see how
seal it. No.
we're gonna, once we're done packing, we're gonna then coat this half with baby powder and start sifting it.
On top of it.
Yes. Once I can get a good layer of this soft sand on top of this, then I can just start throwing it all in, packing it.
All right, so we're gonna coat this whole area with powder because you want.
You want the sand to mold around everything and not stick to anything.
At this point, we took a small break and went back inside. Okay, so I'm taking a minute here to show kind of like what's all gonna turn out. This is Josh's personal Thor hammer. And I made a question to him about why doesn't he have like a little grinder to go up in here, and he clearly explained all the burn marks are natural from what we're making, and so it gives it this beautiful, what would you call it? It gives it as beautiful
Scorching look.
Well, yeah, it's scorching look. It gives a character.
Natural rustic.
It gives it a scorch look, like you used it in battle. It gives it character. And so this thing is. Come here, Josh. Hold your thing right there, so you can. Oh, you get on the frame. Like you need to be on there. And then we have this blade right here, which is like a serious arm's length worth, and it is pretty serrated. It has. It has its spots right here where we can see.
Yep, that's from when you open the box, when we pluck it out, sand fell down where it shouldn't have when we closed it back up and it made a cavity.
And that actually gives it, again, attitude. But look at those marks right there. That is absolutely beautiful, I think. Oh, look at the shine it has on the camera right there at times. So pretty cool.
This is the result of water-based sand casting. When you do water bonded sand, the heat of the heat of the metal, when the metal flows into the mold, it fills up everything. So once you pull it out and once you sand it, that's how it reveals everything.
Now, don't you think that this, you know, like if you're gonna go smash a piece of metal, this is gonna break. But you're gonna go smash a skull with this, the skull's gonna break. Most than likely.
You could probably slice up, I say, 4 to 5 watermelons. Straight through.
So one good neck. Clavicle. Oh yeah, that caused some damage.
That's clear. That's clear. Alright. Sand, you see now. Ooh, that was a big one. That would have caught. Imagine having a hole inside the blade that big, a cavity, just because that fell down.
Because that would fell down during the process?
No, it fell down just now, and we would have closed it.
Oh.
It would have sat there. And the metal would just formed around it and just created that massive hole.
Oh.
One thing I like to do too, you can see it how the sand is so good, it'll catch the split right here. So the sword.
Right. Yeah.
That right there, and that right there. That's these where the pieces were glued together.
Right.
So what you can do, just to clear that up, just run your finger over it just a little bit, just enough to try to shave that down just a little bit. You don't have to. This could still be cleaned up during the grinding and sanding process, but I'd rather just get it done now. Make sure to leave that corner. Make sure we get all this out, because this could cause blockage when we put it back together. All right, now we dig our channels. Drill. Okay, we're gonna go. So if I want to pour on this side, not down here, I want to pour up here. I'm going to drill my channel right here. You don't normally want to drill directly into the mold because you can still get deformities when you pour the metal, because when the metal cools it shrinks. So you'd rather have that just be all up here on the side. Alright. Hole going. Alright. And then we're going to make that just a little bit bigger. You want to be able to, is it better to pour molten metal into a hole the size of a baseball, or is it easier to pour it into a ping pong ball hole size? You want to
Basically a funnel.
essentially, yeah, you want a nice good big size hole for everything to flow in freely, fast, not slow and take its time to go down. You want it to just flow in. And then we're gonna carve out our deal here. Get a nice little funnel shape. It's always good to run your finger through it, push any dirt out. Run your finger along the sides, get it all nice and smooth. And now we dig our channel for it. This is an important one right here. Probably on the side. You want to dig just a little bit into the side of it, so that way you're giving that metal a channel to flow to. Not too much, just enough for it to go nice and quick. Make that nice and flat. Okay, let's do that 3 more times. But the holes do not have to be as big. They can be a little smaller. They just need to be able to vent. Because when you're pouring the metal, liquid-wise, when the liquid is flowing, you want to, if the liquid is forming up here, if there's no outer pocket for it to breathe out of, it'll stop. It can stop right there because of a gas buildup. It'll just that pocket, it'll just hold it there. You don't want that. That's right here.
We took one more break and Josh showed off his proudest pieces. Okay, this is some of the stuff that he has casted over the last few years. Look at that. Comes with faux straps. What is this made out of?
That there is a car wheel.
Here.
This here is the shield of Kratos from God of War.
And he also has the Kratos tool, the Kratos Chaos Blades, signed by the Kratos himself.
Yeah, I'm really quite proud of this one. This is the first time attempt I tried it. Came out beautiful, solid. This thing will stop. It'll stop at 22 for sure. I don't know about a 9mm.
And then he has right here a couple of his most proud pieces. This one is
Halo Energy Sword. Made again by a BMW wheel. BMW in my case stands for best melee weapon.
And then tell us about the signings on them.
Oh, the signing, we got both Master Chief, Cortana, and the Arbiter himself. Very happy, proud of that one. Then
we have a Power Ranger sword.
Indeed, more car parts melted down. I made originally the coins individually and placed them in there to try to get a good mold. Added my own jewels to it. Nah, I definitely trust this thing to chop some wood, but because of the thickness, I definitely would take this into I guess some battle.
And then last but not least, probably this should be like the little piece of your collection right here, because tell me about this piece.
I was the biggest fan of the Batman Beyond series. This was one of my very first metal castings I was able to get done properly. Styrofoam. Burn the styrofoam completely out, and you have this. We have both the late past Kevin Conroy and William, the voice that was the voice of Batman Beyond. Probably one of my favorite pieces here.
Cool. So now it's the wait. It's been probably like 2 good hours of just chilling, talking, and going through all this work. The packing of the sand and the casting. Don't even talk about the probably 6.5, 9 hours it took, right, to print the sheath and the sword to make this happen. We still got this hot mother sucker and all these leftovers. I mean, for 30 seconds of pour and then to find out how it came out. I'm hopeful. You're hopeful? We're hopeful. It all looked real good.
Look good.
If not, I got a grinder at home and we'll grind it a little bit, give it its own little personality. Has a little issue with Jason Momoa because Jason Momoa is a dick.
I made him his trident, solid brass. Meant to go made him in a vodka event, and he just pushed me through his assembly line like I was a piece of meat. Couldn't smile or nothing. I'm sure he was half hungover. So you know what? I had a gift for you, Momoa. Let's see if this gift will give me a little bit of luck.
Gotta sacrifice something for that for glandring.
Sacrifice.
Jason Momoa, you wanted to be ungrateful, and grateful I am now to add what could have been yours to mine. Now jets fly over. Now the jets can fly over. Man, that was cool.
Oh, that's the left. Look at that.
Heat here, so we don't go metal, cold metal to warm metal. You don't want to do that. I know it's not glass, but again, you know, common sense dictates you should probably preheat things before you touch other shit.
You never want to go hot to blistering cold. That causes shock. It can cause cracking.
All kinds of shit.
A lot of bad things. Making sure everything is just good and hot. Okay. Let's get our cup off of there. Okay. Ideally, probably the best spot for you probably be about where I'm standing, so you can see the pouring and the whole blowing up of it all. And here we go.
This man has figured it out. Doesn't look like there's any steam or anything coming out of the sides. It's bubbling from the tops.
Bubbling is one of two things. It is the cooling from in the moisture of the sand, or it could also be potential air pockets trying to make their way out.
Is it all good or bad?
Well, we'll find out. Yeah, this will clean up real nice. Ooh, now, another important fact, I need a...
What? Dip it in water?
Nope, that's quenching. We don't need to do that. We need to make sure you hold it the way I need to.
The what?
I want to make sure it's good and straight. Not curved or wonky or nothing.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
I think we're good. Okay, that's pretty straight. Yeah, so you can see that actual split of where the dirt was literally split in two.
Yeah.
Now this will clean up quite nice.
Once we pulled the sword out of the box, it took Josh about a week more to get it polished and finished for its presentation, in which I took a moment to think about all the hard work he had put into it and decided to ask him just before, how does it feel to open up the box?
Oh, it feels quite anxious, quite nervous, but at the same time very exciting. Just like, again, opening up a box on Christmas. You don't know what's in it until you open it. And when you do, and when all the hard work and all the fiery fire, the cup that glows 1,000 degrees like the sun, when able to pour and handle all that, and to be able to still have it come out the way you want it to, that's a satisfying feeling. About as satisfying as a carpenter taking a tree and turning it into a house.
All right, bending the metal to your will. I like that. And so there's also the polishing, which I regret I did not have any video of that because the cleaning part is just as good. But there is some more pieces that he has, and you know, show us. Let us finish the final product here of what we got. You know, we're not gonna mention fully what it is, but after all the hard work, you know, we have a good hilt. It has colored. He has added gems to it. The shine is absolutely magnificent. That's his piece. That's this piece that we have actually dedicated this time to.
Yeah, this is probably one of my most proud ones. The blade came out good and straight. It's cleaned up almost like a mirror. You can see yourself in it. You could almost shave yourself with it. But for as good as this one came out, this is one of the many products I'm very quite happy with. Being able to clean up the cut-off sprues where they were, being able to grind down, hand file a lot of the pieces, and then to still have it come out nice and straight, just glimmering, and still have it fit perfectly inside as it should. Well, Miguel, as a token of friendship, just all around being a good person, being a good man, there you go.
Josh,
may it serve you well.
I take this sword kindly, and I hope to put it to good use and to honor it with your hard labor that you put into it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this small project of mine showcasing my friend Josh's ability at metal casting. I thank him and his family for allowing me into his home and completing this for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And from everybody here at Rocky Mountain Racing, stay real, stay safe, stay real safe.